The book I read was called Why Employees Don't Do What They Are Supposed to Do. Here's a list of objectives that the speech will cover. I'll talk about the book, why you should read it, supporting points, other viewpoints, a summary, and then a Q&A session. Before I read Why Employees Don't Do What They Are Supposed to Do, I did not think that this book would be very insightful because I thought it would use reasons like they're lazy or they don't care, but after reading this book, I quickly learned that it was the complete opposite. The book shows that oftentimes employees don't do what they are supposed to do because of the actions of their managers. The book gives advice to managers on what they can do to improve their approach. I believe that everybody should read Why Employees Don't Do What They Are Supposed to Do because they will have the knowledge needed to improve their methods and create a better work environment in which employees do what they are supposed to do. The following are reasons the book gives for why employees don't do what they are supposed to do, as well as ways that managers can change themselves to eliminate these reasons for non-performance. As a leader, these solutions give you the knowledge you need in order to create a positive work environment for employees. A huge reason that employees don't do what they are supposed to do is because they don't know why they should do it. Not only does reading this book help to open your eyes to this fact, but also it helps to fix it. The book's solution to this problem is to explain to them that the things they do are for the benefit of the company and themselves. Another common reason employees don't do what they are supposed to do is because they don't know how. They might know what they are supposed to do, but not the steps to get to that point. As a manager, you can't assume that people know what they are supposed to do, so you have to provide references for employees and make sure that they get properly trained. Often, employees don't know what they are supposed to do because the manager either doesn't tell them or isn't specific enough. The manager should explain every aspect of a project to the employee. People will do what you expect if you tell them exactly what to do. Sometimes, employees don't do what they are supposed to do because they think the manager's way will not work. Even if a manager's way is effective, if the employee doesn't believe it, problems will occur. The manager needs to convince the employee that their way works by providing proof. They should also ask the employee what their opinion on the situation is. Employees don't do what they are supposed to do because they think something else is more important. Managers will say that poor performance happens because employees don't have enough time. The reason for this is that they are spending time on unimportant tasks that they think are important. Due to this, managers need to communicate with employees what the priorities of each task are. Oftentimes, employees don't do what they are supposed to do because there is no positive consequence to them for doing it. A paycheck does not qualify as a reward that influences productivity because even if employees are getting a paycheck, they might not continue good behavior with no reward. Managers are significant in the lives of employees, so their compliments have value and influence performance. The book explains the very self-explanatory solution for managers, which is to reward those that have good behavior in order to reinforce it. Most people don't realize that employees don't do what they are supposed to do because they are rewarded for not doing it. For example, employees who do difficult tasks poorly are only given easy tasks. Also, a manager will promote a bad employee just to get them out of the department. As a manager, you should not correct employees' errors for them. You should keep assigning difficult tasks until performance improves. Employees often think that they are doing what they are supposed to do, even though they are not. The reason they think they are doing what they are supposed to do is because they get inadequate feedback, which makes them unaware that they are failing. Often, companies have annual feedback, and the book suggests that this is not frequent enough to improve performance permanently. The book recommends giving feedback several times a day to let workers know how they are doing. Feedback is most productive when it is neutral and specific. Another reason the book gives for why employees don't do what they are supposed to do is because they anticipate a negative consequence for doing it. If people think they will fail, they will not do the task. Managers can fix this by proving that anticipated negative consequences are not there by controlling how they respond. This book gives a variety of reasons why managers influence employees to not do what they are supposed to do. While this book helps managers to improve their leadership qualities, it also helps those that are not in a leadership position to understand the mistakes that managers make in order to communicate with them what their needs are. This helps subordinates as well as managers to create a better work environment. We all want to be effective leaders, which is why reading this book would benefit us all. You might not think that the book is worth reading because it puts too much blame on the managers. You might think that the book isn't helpful since some problems are caused by the employee and thus need to be fixed by that employee. The book explains that every problem that an employee has can be attributed to the manager. We all understand that a successful company starts with the quality of its leaders, which is why it is wrong to think that a company's problems should be fixed by the employees. You might also be thinking that this book isn't worth reading because the suggested solutions do not improve employee performance. Each and every one of these solutions is catered to fix the exact problems that were found from real experiences of 25,000 managers. Also, the author provides many different solutions for each problem just in case different solutions work for different people. I think we can all agree how much of a difference each of the solutions would have on employee performance, which is why thinking they are ineffective is inaccurate. Overall, everyone should read the book, Why Employees Don't Do What They Are Supposed to Do, because it clearly shows people how to become more effective leaders and help employees succeed. In addition to this, it helps others that are not in a leadership position to understand common mistakes that managers make in order to better communicate their needs and create a better work environment. This also improves company efficiency. And although you may think that this book is not worth reading because it puts too much blame on managers and doesn't give successful solutions, this is not right because we all know that the success of a company starts with good management, and the solutions given that involve improvement of management have been known to be effective. So next I will conduct a little Q&A session that has some common questions that you might be wondering. You might be wondering how a paycheck is not considered a reward. The answer is that a paycheck is something that causes an employee not to stop coming to work. It doesn't have any effect on how the employee behaves at work. In the long run, an employee can perform badly for a while until the pay stops. Employees expect to get paid no matter how they behave at work, but rewards are really what influence the way they act at work. You might also be thinking to yourself, doesn't telling an employee everything they should do take away their creativity? The answer is no. Even though people know exactly what they are supposed to do, there is still room for creativity. Also, a manager can tell an employee that they would like them to come up with a creative solution to a problem and give them the tools they need to do this. It does not stifle their creativity, it just allows them to focus on the problem at hand. Another question you might have is, how is every problem that an employee has caused by the manager? What about a problem such as a personal limit? Isn't that the employee's fault? To answer this, I would say that a better way to think about it is that the manager is always the one who should make the first move in fixing the problem. So if the problem is not fixed, then the manager is to blame. Although there are problems that can't be fixed, such as a personal limit of an employee, the manager should still be blamed for the problem since they are the one that hired them. You might be wondering if there are other things that affect employee performance that are not mentioned in the book. The answer is that there are other things that affect employee performance, such as political climate, organizational changes, economy, technological innovations, and more. Although these elements do affect employee performance, they are out of the control of the manager and therefore are not focused on in this book. So this book just talks about reasons for non-performance that can be eliminated. So lastly, you might be wondering what to do if the manager fixes all reasons for non-performance and the employee is still misperforming. The answer is that in this case, the manager needs to sit down and have a talk with that employee to improve their behavior. If that doesn't work, the employee either needs to be fired, demoted, or transferred. If not any of these, the manager has to learn to live with the problem. And this is the reference for the book. And thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day.